It was so nice they decided to do it twice. AEW All In from London. Let's talk about it.
Wait! I can't believe it! Yes! Yes! A Rock is going to WrestleMania! Randy in position for another curb stop. Oh, my! Unbelievable counter! Oh, my God! Unbelievable!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of In This Very Ring, right here live on A2D Radio. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. I am the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. My name is Ritz, and joining me as he does each and every Friday night, the mayor of Toasty Town, this is Butters!
Hi.
Weirdo. I just realized you have the WrestleMania shirt on. I didn't realize you got that in.
Man, I got that in like a couple weeks after WrestleMania.
I haven't seen you wear it yet.
I've worn it on the show a couple times.
So where your camera angle is at, right? If I'm not paying attention, to me, it's just a black shirt.
Yeah.
Right? Because you also got to remember, usually you got that green screen on and it's a little weird. But no, I like it. It's a very clean shirt. I wish I would have gotten it.
It is. I will say this: it is comfortable, and I probably should have got the 3X instead of the 4. It is like a freaking blanket.
I will say with WWE, what they really did a smart thing with was on their clothing line was make it comfortable and get bigger sizes. But then call them like 4Xs or whatever have you. But that's not what we're talking about tonight. But first, before we do that, we got to pay some bills. We want to thank Baggio's Bread, located in Mount Laurel, New Jersey, home of the best stuffed breads, tomato pie, sandwiches, cutlets, and meatballs. Mention AGD Radio for 10% off your in-store purchase. Football season is right around the corner, so make sure you guys get your Sunday spread at Baggio's Bread, located in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. Not going to lie, that last line was off the dome, and it rhymed unintentionally. I love that. Gotta
love those.
Yeah. All right, so it is All In 2024, live from Wembley Stadium in London. They decided to run it back this year, and one of the big stories coming out of All In is the career versus title match between champion Swerve Strickland and Bryan Danielson. A few weeks ago, Bryan put his career on the line. If he doesn't win, obviously he will retire. So the question is, Bryan Danielson should retire as world champion. Agree, disagree? And to expand on that, because we really wanted this to be the focal point of the show, this career versus title match. Because realistically, if Bryan does lose on Sunday, he's done. And so one of our first questions was, should Bryan Danielson retire at All In? And then Butters threw this one out there, and I really like it because you can still have him win on Sunday. I mean, you can have him win on Sunday, but then still retire. But is that the right thing to do? So, Butters, it's your question. What do you got for me?
I'm going to agree to the poll. Surprise, surprise. I feel like Danielson should win the title and retire the same night. The boots down, the belt on top, walk out, retired regardless. He went out on top. He went out as champion. Tony loves his tournaments, so it's all in the mixed bag. But honestly, Bryan needs to focus more on his health, his bad neck. He got it cleared the first time. I highly doubt he's ever going to get it cleared again after this. He's got little ones to worry about. He's got the family, his wife. He really should retire regardless of, after All In. But to me, he should retire as world champion. They should let him go out on top. Let him go out right then and there. World champion. He was able to get the big one. And then he's got, something for his kids to see.
Yeah, but his kid. All right. So I guess where I'm going to go right out the gate is I'm going to put Damien's comment. I mean, if Sting retired as tag team champion, I mean, yeah, I mean, if Sting retired as tag team champion, so why not? But on the other hand, why win it if you're not going to defend it or have a title run? And it is different when you're talking about the tag team title versus the world title, right? You know, Sting could have retired, Darby could have got another person and continued on his little run. When it comes to Daniel Bryan and AEW, he has not held the world title. He won the Eliminator Championship tournament, Championship Eliminator tournament. I'm sorry. He won the Owen Hart Cup earlier this year, and that Championship Eliminator tournament was in 2021. And then he had Dynamite Awards back in 2022, that year that they did those. Other than that, his AEW run has, while it's had produced really, really good matches and in some instances dream matches, he hasn't had any accolades, any accomplishments. I don't think he should retire as world champion. I'm going to disagree to the poll here. And the reason being is you don't need, you look at somebody like Macho Man, never held the WWE Championship, right? A Hall of Famer, and people still talk about
Macho held it.
I don't think Macho ever held it.
I thought he held it like once.
There was somebody, unless I'm thinking of Ultimate Warrior. Warrior held it. No, I think it was it Piper? There was
Piper never held it.
Okay. See, I always but see, you don't think about that. You don't think about the fact that he did hold it. I'm dumb. You don't think about it though, like that they didn't hold the title.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so when you look at the career of Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan, right? Across all the promotions, the career was what we thought cut short once upon a time in WWE. Now you're in AEW. You've been there since 2021. And, I mean, again, other than some really good matches, what have you really done?
Yeah.
And I don't mean that negatively, right?
No.
Because he has produced great matches. He's been a part of some interesting moments, is what I'm going to call it. Right? But then to turn around and say, well, he should win the championship and retire the same night. If that happens, I'm going to throw something. Right? Because that's silly. That's silly to do it. Let him lose. Let him lose on Sunday. And ride off into the sunset. Because he's 43 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He can ride off into the sunset. He can go behind the scenes with AEW if he so chooses to. Because I don't think he'll just leave the wrestling business altogether. But I think he retires from in-ring action. And you know what? If he chooses not to, and his contract is coming up, and I don't know if it is. I'd have to do a little bit more digging. And he wants to go to the WWE and work for Triple H and be a part of that machine, then so be it. That's okay too. Because you did make some really good points there. You made some points of the family, right? Kids, Brie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Pete Evans, I don't know if he's jumping on tonight. He had a live draft that he was doing. He disagrees. Sting retiring as tag team champ is one thing, but Bryan as world champ is another thing altogether. Damien also says, the only reason why I think Bryan shouldn't win is because AEW is going to have another title, which at this point is starting to get boring. And I'm not trying to make this an entire show where I just dog on AEW and all the titles. Don't get me wrong. That's probably coming.
Does he mean title or tournament?
Yes. I think the answer there is yes, because you're going to get both.
Yes, and tournaments do get boring, but Tony loves his tournaments. We all know this.
Right. And I understand it allows you to showcase and highlight more talent, but then that's why you have stories. Don't take the cheap way out. Mm-hmm. But again, I'm not going to sit here and bash AEW all night long, because if not, it's going to be a really long hour. But when you think about Daniel Bryan, and I mean, I'm just going to rattle off some notable accomplishments. Ring of Honor Pure Champion, Ring of Honor World Champion. He's in the ROH Hall of Fame. He won the Survival of the Fittest in 2004 with Ring of Honor. In WWE, he was a 4-time WWE champion, a 1-time World Heavyweight champion, Intercontinental champion, a United States champion, a WWE Tag Team Champion, a SmackDown Tag Team Champion, won Money in the Bank. He's the 26th Triple Crown Champion, the 6th Grand Slam Champion under the current format, the 15th overall, multiple 12-time Slammy Award winner, right? He's got a ton of Wrestling Observer, best non-wrestler, best on interviews, best pro wrestling book, best DVD, best technical wrestler. He won that. What, like 2005, 2013, 2021, 2023. Match of the year in 2007. Outstanding wrestler, 6 and 10. Outstanding wrestler of the decade from 2000 to 2009. He's in the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame, class of 2016. Right? What are some other? Sports Illustrated. He was number 10 of the top 10 wrestlers in 2018, number 5 in 2021. PWI Comeback of the Year in 18, Feud of the Year in 13, Inspirational Wrestler of the Year in 14, Match of the Year in 13 against Cena at SummerSlam, Popular Wrestler in 13, Wrestler of the Year in 13, and in 2014, he was the number 1 wrestler ranked on the PWI Top 500. New Japan. He's an IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champion with Curryman. He was the best of the American Super Juniors in 2004.
Love me some Curryman.
I mean, my God. He had the match of the year with Evolve, right? CBS said he had the best promo of the year in 2018, and he was also the comeback wrestler of the year that year. The man has a storied career dating all the way back to when did he debut? I got it. Debut October 4th, 1999.
Damn.
There are people watching wrestling today that were not born yet.
Damn, 25 years in the business. Whew.
My brother's barely older than he is. Like his career is, I should say. Right? And so, John says, okay, I have to ask this Sundom. Any chance of Triple H getting Mox out of his contract, coming back to WWE in a Shield reunion? No, we're going to keep moving on. Damian says he had one of the best WrestleManias of all WrestleMania. When you go, and I believe that's the call back to WrestleMania 30, the Miracle on Bourbon Street. Everybody remembers him beating Triple H to get into the triple threat match. That year of WrestleMania 30, which was 2014, that 2013 to 2014 time span of his career with the Yes movement and everything, the way that became, and to where that gif is still used now. It's still, and you go to arenas around the world, anytime a question is asked, it's still referenced now.
Mm-hmm.
There is no way, absolutely no way, he's not a first ballot WWE Hall of Famer.
Yep.
If AEW ever decides to put him in a Hall of Fame, he's an AEW Hall of Fame.
Agreed.
He is arguably one of the best technical wrestlers on God's green earth. He doesn't need the title to retire. Right? What's the age-old adage when we're talking about professional wrestling? You go out on your back. Happy trails, Hans. The Godfather, Tom Arnone, chiming in, my guys. He agrees
What's up,
to the
Tom?
poll. Brian Daly, what's up, fellas? I'm going to agree to the poll. He should retire on top where he deserves. Daly, I love you. I do. He's already on Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling. Right? He's already at the Parthenon of professional wrestling. The way AEW has done their titles, this means nothing in that company. The title means nothing. So you don't need the title to retire. You put it on Sting because Sting and Darby Allin had a beautiful thing going. Right? It made some kind of sense. I didn't like the decision because then immediately you had vacant titles. And then immediately you're going to have a vacant title here when you could have just left the title on Swerve, moved him into another feud, and continued a pretty decent run. While not memorable, the matches are good. It's a decent run. And what better way? Because Swerve's kind of floundering as a face. He was over like Rover when he won the title. He's still over now. But that hype isn't there. Well, then retire Daniel Bryan. Have him end Daniel Bryan's career. Now you just got nuclear heat.
I don't think he comes out of this with nuclear heat, though.
You don't think that if he pins Bryan Danielson on Sunday and walks out Wednesday night, I almost said Monday, walks out Wednesday night and goes, remember Bryan Danielson? Yeah, I retired him. And that's the whole promo, is him just talking about how Bryan Danielson wasn't good enough to beat me. What makes any of you in the back think that you can beat me?
See, I don't think he cuts that kind of a promo because after that match is over, if he beats Bryan, then they're going to get up, shake hands.
Out of your mouth.
Do what?
I thought the next words out of your mouth are going to be, who's next?
No. They're going to get up, shake hands. The crowd's going to cheer. They're going to hug. Danielson's going to be in the ring. Swerve's going to let Danielson do his thing.
It all depends on how that match ends, though. We're assuming that Swerve is going to go into this match as a babyface.
Mm-hmm.
We've all seen it, though, in title matches when the career is on the line. If the crowd likes the other guy, the champion's automatically the bad guy. Because if the champion loses, he's still there on Wednesday. But if the challenger loses, he ain't there no more.
Mm-hmm.
Right? All right, so this isn't the first time that Daniel Bryan has been in a title versus career match. The last time he did this was on April 30th, 2021. It was his last match with one of his last matches with the WWE.
Roman Reigns?
Yep. And Roman beat him.
Yep.
So if you want to go by track record, his sucks.
But I feel like it's going to be 50-50 after Sunday.
And you're allowed to think that.
Yeah, I mean.
Right? Now, is there a small part of me that says, hey, you know what? I think it'd be cool to see.
Yeah.
Daniel, we lost your camera.
I know.
Okay.
Give me a second.
Would it be cool to have Bryan Danielson as champion? Yeah, it could be cool. But then, who's up first? Right? Who's that first person you put up against Bryan Danielson?
Paige. Eddie.
Eddie's out.
Eddie's out?
I don't know how long Eddie has, but he's injured. He's out.
Okay.
So let's assume for a second, without diving into his injury, right? Let's assume for a second that he is still out. I see how it is.
Hey, Tom. Yeah.
You do one gimmick one time for 1 year, and it never dies.
Woo!
The gimmick may die, but the team lives on forever. Logan says, my prediction is Mina is going to help Mariah May win the AEW Women's World Championship. It's a very good possibility. Jamie goes, how funny if Swerve pulls a WWE and wears Eat, Sleep, Retire Daniel Bryan repeat shirt. And if he does that, he's a heel. Thank you, and good night, everybody.
No. We still got like 40 minutes left of the show.
No, I know.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
But my point here, right? It's okay for Daniel's career to end.
Oh, it is 100%
on Sunday. I think it's the right move. Because even if he doesn't come out Wednesday night as a heel, right? Which I don't know. I'm 50-50 on Swerve turning heel. He automatically such a more credible, not that he wasn't, before anybody puts words in my mouth, automatically a more credible champion Monday morning because he beat arguably one of the best professional wrestlers of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So now if Kenny Omega comes back and wants to step up to the plate, we can believe it. Right? You put him up against anybody, it's more believable now than ever. Right? And you have one of your biggest houses of all time. Tell me why it's a bad idea to have Bryan Danielson retire in front of your biggest house of the year, your biggest show of the year.
It's not a bad idea.
Thank you.
Because he can retire right then and there, even after he wins the title.
That's the dumbest thing that they could do. That is truly the dumbest thing. Because now you're legitimately, like, I was making a joke when I threw the title. Right? How it doesn't mean anything.
But why would it?
But that would literally tell me that you don't value your championship at all. Because you're just using it as a placeholder at this point.
You wouldn't really be using it as a placeholder.
Okay? Please. Argue how Bryan winning Sunday morning.
You
Sunday
have
afternoon.
this iconic moment of Bryan winning, immediately retiring, putting the boots down, wrapping the belt around the boots, walking away. And then you just, I don't know.
But you know what nobody is talking about then?
Sunday
night, because it's in London, it's going to be Sunday afternoon that this event happens.
Yeah.
By the time the sun goes down, no one is going to be talking about, wow, Bryan Danielson's career is over. Everybody's going to be going, well, what the hell are they going to do with the title now? What's the next dumb tournament that we're going to have to sit through? That's going to end on a random Dynamite that nobody's going to know about.
It'd be a pay-per-view Dynamite, but it wouldn't be exactly random.
No. The Owen Hart thing was. Damien says retiring in the UK would be cool, but I think it would be better if he retired in his hometown in front of his own people. One, I don't know if they have Washington planned anytime soon. Two, if I have somebody like that retiring, you put it in front of your biggest house, right? Let him get that one last big standing ovation because you know he'll get it.
Oh, he'll get it big time,
right?
You're also in a country, in a city where wrestling is blood.
Pretty much.
I mean, we're talking bigger than America in general, bigger than anywhere else.
It's soccer than wrestling.
So I wouldn't be surprised.
At least let me phrase that. We don't have fact behind that.
No.
But the way that the crowd reacts over there, you would think it's like soccer than wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if that standing ovation shook the camera.
It would for me. Actually, no, it wouldn't because they have trash equipment. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that part out loud. Whoopsie.
Oh, Lord.
But my point being, and we're going to move on. There is no reason to, I'm not going to say kill your title, but to literally tell me that it doesn't matter. Just to put somebody on that who already matters more than your title. He transcends the title. There's a part of me that says, even if this wasn't a title versus career, he doesn't need it. If he needed it, he'd have won something by now.
No, I get what you're saying. I understand.
The prosecution rests your honor.
Yeah.
All right.
One way or another, he's retiring Sunday, period.
I think so. I do. I do.
Whether it's on top, going out on his back, however you want to call it, I just feel deep down inside 100% he is retiring Sunday, ifs, ands, or buts.
So, hey, Don, what's up?
What's up, Don?
Would you say this is bigger than Taker's streak? I don't think you can compare the two.
No.
And I don't want to give a long-winded answer, but Taker's streak was once a year at WrestleMania, one match that we all look forward to. And he had to win to keep it going. This is you're taking an entire career and kind of summing it up. Taker's streak doesn't define him. Doesn't define his career. It's a part of it, yes, but you're comparing apples to oranges. I think it's a great question, but I don't think it's bigger. All right, so this Sunday, we've been talking about it already, and I think we kind of have given our answers for Strickland versus Bryan. Yeah. Right? I think Swerve's going to win. You think
Danielson's going to win.
Danielson's going to win. So there's really no point for us to talk about that. Don says, everybody make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Football season is right around the corner. Exactly right. I think it's 2 weeks from today? Yes, 2 weeks from today, I'll be in Disney. But it's also Eagles-Packers in Brazil. That's week 1, game 1 during kickoff.
Brazil?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Brazil. They're playing overseas this game. Eagles, Packers. Yeah, Brazil.
Interesting.
Yep. Don't make the rules, dude.
That's just not. That was not one of the things on my bingo list. That's all.
Bingo card.
Bingo list.
Card.
Bingo card. Whatever.
The card. You're an idiot. So there.
Surprise.
Other than the what is it called? The world title match. I am struggling a little bit today. Good Lord Almighty.
Hey, we're all in the struggle bus today.
There are 9 different matches we're going to talk about. We're not going to go in depth into every single one, or we wouldn't get through them all.
Wait. Dude, what?
What?
It's less than 11?
There's still time.
9 matches, and that's not including the pre-card? What?
That is including the pre-show. Now, that's an interesting take, Damian. Bryan Danielson wins. Blackpool Combat Club comes out to celebrate. Mox turns on it. That would be interesting. I think that's the one thing that you could do on Sunday where I would go, I might watch Wednesday night now.
You might see what happens that goes down, yeah.
Yeah, it's very possible. But let's get into Timeless Toni Storm versus Mariah May, AEW Women's World Championship match. This is another one that's been brewing about the same amount of time because Mariah wins. So Owen Hart Women's Cup and immediately turns on Toni.
Just demolishes Toni.
Annihilates her. How have you felt about this feud so far?
I'm loving it. I mean, I was expecting the turn, but just not in the way it turned.
Not that night?
No, I was kind of expecting her to win it, them go out as friends, her win the matchup, and then her turn on Toni. I was more expecting the turn to be at All In, not right after the, winning the Owen Hart tournament.
Well, and I think if you do the finals to that tournament at something like an All In, then that holds better there.
Mm-hmm.
Doing the finals on a random Wednesday night, everybody, at least those of us that don't watch live every week.
Yes, those that don't watch religiously.
Well, I mean, I keep up because there's so much. In order for us to get ready for these shows every week, we have to know about everything that's happened.
Yeah.
And there are some times where it's tough. And when the internet blew up on that, it was really hard at first to find a good clip of the turn.
Mm-hmm. I actually saw it live. I was just like...
Now, I'm told if you watch it back, you can see the turn coming throughout that night. I'm told if you watch it back. I did not watch it live. I don't know. So, personally, I think Mariah May is going to win here.
Mm-hmm.
And one, the story calls for it. Toni's title run has run very flat for me. The Timeless thing was great as it started, but now it's really run its course.
Yes.
So now it's time to put it on somebody else. Mariah's English. It'd be great for her. Get that win in front of her home country. The huge pop. The awesome moment.
I would like to see Mina help her out. Help Mariah out. Just have that interaction again, because that whole interaction between her and Mina is fantastic.
I like their dynamic together. I would like to see, but I don't know if you need Mina to come out and help her win. Mina could be like there to celebrate with her, but I don't think you need. You want her to win on her own. Let it be a clean win, right? If Toni had somebody to get involved, all right, Mina can kind of squander that, but past that, I don't think you need it. Don wants to know, for a noob like me, is AEW a good watch? It has its moments.
That's what I said. Depends on the week.
If you like solid wrestling, then yeah, I think it's a good watch. If you're trying to find a good story, hit or miss. It's not consistent enough.
Yeah, because they are the it's more for them. It's more wrestling than it is storytelling / what do you want to call them? Backstage vignettes and in-ring promos. You want all that stuff, you go to WWE. You want just pure, straight up wrestling, go to AEW.
So I'm gonna go Mariah May on this one.
Same.
I think it's almost a no-brainer. Nothing against Toni Storm, but I just don't think that the title run can last any longer past Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Will Ospreay is going to try to get the American Championship back from MJF. I wish this wasn't the second one. For one, well, it's never as good as the sequel's never as good as the original.
This is true,
right? That's problem number one that I have. Problem number two that I have, I think the way that match one goes, if you lift that, you cut that out of Dynamite and drop it in England, I think you have such a better reaction to it.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Yeah. I think it's such a better reaction than anything else. And so from there, you just you're bringing these people out. Everybody's going to hold it to that standard for match one. And if it doesn't hit, which I would doubt it's not, because look at who it is. It's MJF and Will Ospreay. But if it doesn't
that first
hit,
match was chef's kiss. Done.
Right. If it doesn't hit like that one does, then why did we do it? At least that's the conversation that's going to start sprinkling around.
You know, I get why you want to do it. You know, MJF changed the title. Ospreay's pissed about it. He wants his title back. You know, I don't really see them giving it back to Ospreay just so they can change the title back to the, you know, All Atlantic or Intercontinental or whatever the hell title.
Whatever they called it.
Because I think the All American's better. Not because it's America and whatnot, but I feel like it's better to have one international title and one, you know, national title versus two internationals and a world title. Then again, that's just what I'm used to with WWE.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm okay for some of it, right? Like, you would have more titles, sure. You do have the platforms to do it, but you don't utilize them properly. Hove goes, agreed for Bryan to ride off in the sunset. Nothing left to prove. Hell of a career, even better comeback. But when you disagree?
He might have misread it.
Whatever. Love you, though, Pope. Absolutely love you. I'm going to go MJF here, though, because MJF is back on top when it comes to his promos. He's back on top when it comes to telling a story, and I think sometimes he's better with the title.
I agree.
But he's better as a heel.
I think MJF takes this one back.
Jack Perry, Darby Allin in a coffin match for the god-awful AEW TNT Championship.
You mean that god-awful cast aluminum burnt piece of crap that Jack Perry made?
It's so bad. It's so... Like, you remember when we were in art class? Like, when we were kids, and you'd walk into the room, and it'd be a little warmer in the room, and you'd always wonder why, and it was clay day, right? There was clay on the table, and we all made dumb stuff, right? Some people tried to make cups. Some people tried to make enterprises, because then you would paint them. Some people tried to make bat symbols, right? Bowls, plates, swords. You name it, people tried to make it. And there'd always be that one person that would try to make themselves a belt, right? A championship belt. No, I was the enterprise guy, I promise.
Oh, I figured that much.
Yeah. I've seen clay belts look better than whatever this thing is. What was wrong with the old one?
I think it's a Jack Perry thing.
And can we talk about this jackass?
Go for it.
We usually do a really good job of not cursing on this show. We really do. We try so hard.
And then you bring AEW into the mix.
And the amount of times I just want to drop the F-bomb is astonishing sometimes. It's truly a comma in my vocabulary some days.
If you look at the dictionary,
yeah. But this schmuck, this putz, he's now aligned with the Young Bucks. And he's like Hollywood, whatever have you. Like, it's some weird Hogan kind of heel turn thing. I don't know what to call it. You almost killed this man a few weeks ago. That was the whole point of a match that included your world champion, who wasn't even a part of the finish. You tried
how much they care about their world champion.
Shut up. They tried to light him on fire. So, what do? That, all right. Darby Allin gets his match at All In.
Do you like the
Let's
title
make it a coffin match.
Darby's specialty.
You trying like, are you trying to kill the man? Are you telling us all that his career is dead? Or is this your way? Now, I will say this: if Darby Allin wins, okay, this is a great way to take Jack Perry out of this stupid elite thing that they have him in and rebrand him back to normal.
I
They're
doubt
trying.
getting Jungle Boy back.
I don't think we'll ever get Jungle Boy back. But you're trying to take his brawl with CM Punk at last year's All In that nobody really cared about. In the grand scheme of it all, nobody cared. And now you're trying to make him a bad guy off of it because he helped run off CM Punk. Shut your mouth. You're stupid. We move on. I'm pulling for Darby Allin, but Darby Allin's become literally synonymous with the TNT Championship, so it's a moot point either way. We move on. I think this is the match I'm most excited for.
What, Jack Darby?
No. Mercedes Moné. First of all, who do you have winning Jack and Darby?
Jack and Jill, I'm going to go with Darby.
Okay. Mercedes Moné versus Britt Baker for the TBS Championship.
I'm sorry, but this is not Mercedes' best work.
No, it's not. But I think when the lights are the brightest, I hope she can at least put on good wrestling still. Because really, that's what I'm going to care about on Sunday. I don't care about what led us to here.
And I hope to God they do something better with Camille.
I don't hate this though for her, and I'll tell you why. But keep telling me what you think how the match is going to go.
I really want Britt to win this, take that smirk off of Mercedes, take that title off Mercedes. But we all know Camille is going to help Mercedes keep that title even longer.
So I think I have like the perfect, and it's not even my idea. It's Jax's idea. The perfect counter to Camille. Jamie Hayter.
I wouldn't hate it.
I wouldn't. Funny. You have her come back. I think she's also English. So you get that pop. Right? Because you got to do some crowd service here.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Paige isn't on the show. You got to do something. She's physically looks like she could take Camille. You don't put the title on Britt. As much as I would like it to, I don't think you do that right now.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the next one. Right? Maybe. But you could. And I'd be okay with it if they put the title on Britt. This is one where it can go either way. And I think we're not done with this feud on Sunday. Right? I think we get the next chapter of this feud. And I'm very okay with that. Who's in the Casino Gauntlet? Do you know?
The only names they've announced so far for the Casino Gauntlet are Roderick Strong, Evil Uno, Hangman Adam Page, Kyle O'Reilly, Mark Briscoe, and Orange Cassidy.
All right, don't care.
The only name that could potentially come up, since he's apparently signed with AEW,
is Ricochet.
Is Ricochet for a surprise entrant.
And I think that would be cool. Right? I hate that WWE lost him. I think they squandered him a little bit. But I think it'll be cool seeing
this
him
would
over
be
there.
a good debut for him to have him in this Casino Gauntlet match.
Yeah, I think you have to have somebody either debut or return here tonight.
You can have both, but yeah.
Yeah. I don't care about Chris Jericho versus Hook.
We all know Hook's winning it.
The three-way tag team match for the AEW World Championship. The Young Bucks versus FTR versus the Acclaim. This could easily be match of the night.
3 great tag teams.
3 incredible tag. It is the best 3 tag teams that AEW has.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see the Acclaimed win again, but I think it's going to be FTR. I don't think the Bucks are going to win here.
I don't either. I'm in the same boat as you. I would like to see the Acclaim win, but FTR, in my opinion, should take it off of the Young Bucks with the way the feud's been going.
Yeah. I think the Acclaimed are here to take the fall. And no disrespect to the Acclaimed whatsoever, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just think that they're the ones that are going to end up taking that fall.
Yeah.
You want to talk about just an absolute cluster of a match. It's going to be the Patriarchy, Christian Cage, Killswitch, and Nick Wayne versus the Bang Bang Gang, which is a dumb name. Juice Robinson, who I can't stand, with Austin Gunn and Colton Gunn.
Well, that's because what's his name's out with an injury.
I don't care. House of Black, Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews versus the weirdest group in the face of the planet, Pac, Claudio, and Wheeler Yuta. And you know what? If it was a 4-way trios match, that's fine. That's a mess, but that's fine. But now you're going to tell me it's a 4-way London ladder match. So you're going to let, what is that, 12 people beat the brakes off of each other with no tags, no nothing. Oh my God, what a cluster of a match. There's no way you can follow it.
Yeah. Like, I'm trying to figure out what the hell is a London ladder match, but I'm guessing it's just a regular ladder match.
Probably.
Hoping to God it's just a regular ladder match, because calling it a London ladder match because it's in London is just the dumbest thing, but whatever.
I don't even know who I want to win this. Because I think the Patriarchy is stupid. The fact that you brought in Nick Wayne's mom, and even you have Nick Wayne with Christian still at that. I hate it. I can't stand it. I think I'd like to see the House of Black take it because I like the House of Black rules. It would be funny to me if Pac and the Blackpool Combat Club won it, because that's a match made in hell. I hope the Bang Bang Gang gets taken out of the match like 5 minutes in. They all get put through tables and ladders, and they're no, please God, no.
Oh God.
So I'm gonna go House of Black here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think and there's a small part of me that says it in the best way possible. This is gonna be a train wreck.
Just for the lulz, I'm just going to go with Pac and the Blackpool Combat Club.
I respect it. Part of me almost did it too. I'm not going to lie.
Because that's, man, it's a hell of a, like you said, it's a hell of a group. Those 3 could whoop some backside.
Mm-hmm. All right. Do you think, because we went through all the matches, right? We actually did crank all those matches. We skipped over Jericho and Hook because I don't give a damn. Do you think we see any big return on Sunday? Obviously, we've already kind of teased Jamie Hayter a little bit.
Ricochet.
Ricochet would be a debut. That's a different category, you schmuck. I said return.
Oh, I thought you were going for both.
No, just return right now.
Who's out right now that would return?
Eddie Kingston could come back. Adam Cole.
I can see Adam Cole, but he'd probably put himself in the MJF match.
Or he comes out for Bryan. Because wasn't it Wembley last? No, it wasn't Wembley last year. Wasn't it All In 21 where Daniel Bryan came out?
They both came out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, it could be.
You want to do long-term storytelling. You ruined my debut.
Yeah. I mean, I could see it.
Yeah, it was All Out in 21.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, you could run it off of that.
Just trying to think, who's all out. Oh, I didn't mean like that.
AEW roster 2024. List of all of your wrestlers. All right, let's see who. All right, so Edge is out, broken leg. Bandito is out with a wrist injury. The Blade is out with a lower back injury. He's been out forever. Eddie Kingston has a torn ACL and meniscus.
Kenny Omega.
I could see Omega coming back. What day did he get hurt, Eddie Kingston? Let's see.
Tay Mello, Sammy Guevara, even though Sammy's been back on Ring of Honor.
All right, so despite the injury, he returned on air for the August 17th episode of Collision and a pre-recorded promo from his home to discuss All In and the title versus career match. He'll be out till May of 25. And that was what? Right around March.
Who's that?
What was Double or Nothing? May. He went out in May. Between like April, May. Eddie Kingston. Omega, I could see Omega.
Danhausen.
Kota Ibushi, Danhausen. Ibushi's out with an ankle surgery. Mark Davis is out with a broken wrist. I would like to see Keith Lee come back. Matt Sydal, foot surgery. Miro, shoulder and elbow injuries. I'd like to see him come back.
Right.
Powerhouse Hobbs, knee injury.
Ooh, that'd be a good one.
Be a really good one. Yeah, that's really it. We go to the
Samoa
women.
Joe.
Jamie Hayter and Julia Hart are both out with shoulder injuries.
Sky Blue's out.
Ruby Soho's on maternity leave.
Yep.
Tay Mello's on maternity leave.
Well, Tay Mello should be back anytime
right.
soon.
So there's your options.
I mean, that's a lot of people. I mean, there's a ton of options that we could see that would actually be pretty good.
Yeah, and as far as debuts go, right, I think Ricochet's the biggest one that you could pull off right now.
Yep.
There's nobody else that's a big name right now that's a free agent.
Lashley and MVP?
I don't know if Lashley moves the needle for AEW right now. I don't think they give MVP screen time if they bring him in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of where I said. I think Ricochet is the debut this weekend.
Okay.
But
I think MVP or Bobby Lashley, one of them, they filed for the name. What was it? The Hurt something or other.
The Hurt Business or whatever.
It wasn't the business. They named it something else to kind of stay away from WWE's version. But it's still going to be the four of them. The four.
He still wants to wrestle, so
all four of them want to get back together and do the thing and try it out.
Yeah, I mean, more power to him. Do you have anything you want to talk about? We got about 5 minutes left. Anything from WWE you might want to bring up? Anything we didn't discuss when talking about the matches for All In this weekend?
I mean, the only thing WWE wise I've seen that was even remotely interesting, at least for me, anyways. They're starting the women's speed tournament.
Don't care. I couldn't care less. I mean, Joe Hendry is gonna go fight for the NXT Championship. I think he's.
Yep, I forgot about that one.
I think he takes that title. I think it's a smart play for them.
There's no way they do not give him the title. He has to get the title. There's just, you don't do all this and just blow it off.
Yeah, I don't. It made sense with Jordan Grace not winning. Okay, fine. But you can't, with Joe Hendry, the way he is over and the fact that he's been pulling double duty on your show, on TNA, having two different storylines, not having the two intertwine and intermix, that tells me something. Because Jordan Grace's, her stories kind of intertwined each other. Right? What else? Tonga Tongaloa defended the titles tonight. Solo Sikoa made Jacob Fatu the enforcer of the new bloodline.
Which made sense while he's in the boot.
I think it's stupid that he's in the boot still. If the injury's not real, like we've talked about that, it's a work to keep him away from Roman, but then he's out there hitting a 40-yard dash across the ring on Johnny Gargano. Like, what are you doing, dude? Like, tell me that boot's fake. Like,
tell me that boot's fake without telling me that boot's fake.
Yeah, like, damn, man. I saw that tonight and I went, you know what, dude? I was cool with you hitting a Samoan drop or something like that. All right, fine. You ran full speed at that man.
I mean, last week he hit a super kick with it on, Roman Reigns.
And you know what, though? That makes sense too. I
you kicked him in the face with it.
That. Right. I can believe that a little bit because Cowboy Bob Orton with the cast on his arm. Some of that's believable, man. You ran full speed.
Nobody runs full speed 40-yard dash in a boot.
Like, what are we doing?
I mean, you could call it, oh, hey, the adrenaline kicked in.
Oh, bite me on your adrenaline.
I'm just saying, to some people, the adrenaline kicked in, so he didn't feel it until afterwards.
Don't know.
Boy.
Don't know. We have Bash in Berlin a week from tomorrow.
Woot.
So next week we're going to spend the show talking about that. And
the Terror Twins got decimated this week.
They did. We're going to break everything WWE down next week. And then the week after, I won't be on because I'm in Disney. This is the trip I've had scheduled for 6 months. It's also week 1 of the NFL, so I don't know if it's even smart to do a show up against the first Eagles game.
Ooh, no, God, no.
But that's a conversation for I don't know what the kickoff weekend plans are for the channel either. So we'll let you guys know next week if we hear something. But until then, for Butters, I'm Ritz. Make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe if you like what you heard from us tonight. We appreciate all your support. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us each and every Friday night. Until next time, tell somebody you love them. Peace, love, and joy. We're out of here.